Jerrod Niemann.
How you doing, buddy? Are you ready to rock?
We are ready to rock. Jerrod, now I know I've been reading a little bit about you and your fiance, right?
Ooh,
Yeah. You know, they got...
She stops just a little short of stalking there, Jerrod.
No, I don't stalk, especially when
There's a restraining orders, against her in several states.
But they're not from you, right?
No, you're right.
Exactly. So confirm to Gary that I can be at the concert because you do not have a restraining order against me. Because it's once I find out they're engaged or they're married, it's hands off. And they actually got engaged down in New Orleans late last year.
Oh, cool.
So y'all still are y'all in the planning mode of the wedding? Still planning on getting married this year?
Yeah, I think that she's more in the planning mode. I mean, I'd love to help, but I think she knows that it'd be better for me just to stay out of the way. So we officially are in the planning mode, but it's really her.
Do you get involved in that at all?
Here's the deal. It's really, I know girls really picture that day their whole lives. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying some guys don't, but I just, anywhere works for me. So yes, she's opted to do it, but I did hear the other day, I walked by and heard something about a juggler or a clown or something, and I was like, whoa. What? I said, is that our wedding? And she says, yeah. And I said, oh. I said, well, it looks like I'm going to have to intervene because, I'd prefer it to be a wedding and not a parade. Yeah.
Now, we had this article on our website about this game called Cornhole. How on earth did you come across this?
The cornhole?
Yeah.
Well, really, it all started a couple years ago when Craig Campbell asked me to be part of his charity cornhole challenge. And so I thought, oh, man, that sounds fun because I played it a couple times, but, I wasn't good enough to do it in front of a lot of people. So we just bought some boards, and, man, it just really, the whole band became just addicted to it immediately. And so then I got a set for my house as well so I can practice when the guys aren't around and get one up on them. But it's so much fun.
Does that conversation sound funny when you leave, like, the record label? You're leaving Music Row, and you say, I got to go home and practice my cornholing.
Well, I will tell you, when we travel this beautiful country, there's different parts of the country that call it different things. Some call it bean bags, some just call it bags. So when you say cornhole, they do look at you funny. But I will say that I always choose the most immature option, and cornhole in this case is that. So I'm going to go with cornhole.
And speaking of immature, your next song, Donkey. Oh, we got to talk about this.
It's pretty immature.
Exactly. I love it.
Well, I got to tell you, obviously Louisiana has a ton of history, but when it comes to right in that area, there's a lot of history, and so country music goes back way back in the day to the Louisiana Hayride, and I know the crossover to Longview to the Rio Palm Isle when it was around, and so I was just pictured, there was a lot of cool Cadillacs back then, but I wonder if those Cadillacs ever broke down and they had to ride a donkey to the Rio or to the Louisiana Hayride.
Hey, now listen, we've got a number of local high schools that are going to be graduating here in the next little bit, and with that in mind, these kids, a lot of them have an idea what they're going to be doing professionally, and where their lives are going to take them. And mom and dad are always going to be reminding them, hey, have a backup plan. What's Plan B? Was there ever a Plan B for Jerrod Niemann?
Foolishly enough, there wasn't, and it wasn't because I thought I was too cool. It was just I loved it so much that I couldn't imagine doing anything else. And my parents, a lot of my best friends in Nashville, when we first met, we kind of told each other our stories, and most of them, their parents thought when they moved to Nashville, they were just kind of skipping out on actually having to do so. They didn't really think it was possible, and my parents just knew since I was a kid how passionate I was about music, and so they just always had my back. And then after I heard my friends' stories, I called my mom and dad, and I said, hey, why don't you guys ever tell me that this might not work out? I might need to have a Plan B, but they just were always there. And I'll tell you, but my Plan B would, my dad owns a roofing company, and he still is out there every day busting his tail, and I just wish he would retire. So if my Plan B would be taking over his gig and telling him to relax a little bit.
You're from Kansas originally, so is that where the family still is, or?
No, about 15 years ago, my family moved to Fort Worth, so that's how I've been out to close to your area quite a bit.
Oh, that's awesome. So your dad's got a roofing company in Fort Worth where it's like 197,000 degrees on an August afternoon?
Yes. Yeah, he said it's crazy because they'll go to roof a house. They have to wait for it to cool down because it'll melt the granules,
yeah.
you know. And it just sometimes the roof will end up worse than it was to begin with, so they just got to wait till it cools down a bit. But man, he's just you know, that's a great thing of being from that part of the country is you just really know the meaning of the dollar and how it is to you know, just the old cliches of handshake deals and doors unlocked at night. It's just a great place to be from.
Well, brother, man, we are so pumped about Saturday night. You know what? I have a tradition, and of course you're going to say no, but I have a tradition of asking, would you sing me just one little verse of either Lover Lover or Drink to That All Night a cappella?
Acapulco?
Yeah, that's the spot. Yeah, with a margarita in your hand.
Let's see if you do it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Pulling up now, the parking lot's full. Gonna ride that cow to Dallas Pool. Everybody in the ATL is coming. DJ's got some speakers thumping. Got a black Ford, not a white Mercedes. Walking in the front door, checking out the ladies. My buddy says, hey, boys, I'm buying. Hottest girl in here is giving me the eye.
Wow, you are the only one that has ever done it. Gary has asked so many people, and they're all like, no.
Yeah, but Julie was singing right along with you there, bro.
Tell everybody else quit being wussies.
Hey, exactly. Well, listen, dude, you just can't imagine the party that we've got planned, and we are so pumped that you're going to be here. And I think that the chemistry that Josh Thompson and you together will have is going to just we're in for a night.
Well, Josh, you know, is a buddy of mine as well, and I always look forward to seeing your buddies. But man, what a talented guy, and man, I'm just going to be. Probably, I'll have the best seat in the house watching him. So maybe I can talk him into coming on stage and doing something together.
That would be awesome. Oh, and by the way, Josh has requested that we have some crawfish. So are you into that whole thing too? Okay.
Hey, brother, thank you for hanging out with us. We have really enjoyed it, and Saturday night, I hope we get to continue the conversation.
Yeah.